Gentlemen, thank you for coming back to another edition of What Black Men Like from Black Men Network. So today, again, we have another solo interview. We have a very special brother on, right? Great guy. And I think you're really going to like this guy and what he has to offer and bring to the community. So, without further ado, tell us about yourself and what you do.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nico. I run the business Nico the Investor. What I do is I teach individuals how to trade, how to invest in the financial market, anywhere from the regular growth investing from the stock market, binary option trading, forex and foreign exchange, cryptocurrency, and various such. I have modules on my website that for people who are more self learners, and I do one-on-one Zoom consultations. And if you're in the tri-state area, which is the Philadelphia, Delaware, New Jersey area, New York,
Oh, okay.
as of recently, I'll do in-person consultations because the pandemic is opening back up for me to meet with people.
Oh, that's good to go, man. Sounds like you know a lot about finances, which is sounds like it's been the topic of discussion for our community, our area, our society, our people. So how did you start doing this? What got you into it?
When I was deployed in Afghanistan, which I just only a few months ago got home from being deployed in Afghanistan for almost 2 years.
Oh
I,
man, thank you for your service.
oh, thank you, appreciate that, thank you.
All right.
But I met a gentleman over there who I was already into investing. I had worked for Ross, Dress for Less as a supervisor, as a manager, and they had a employee at ESP, employee stock program. So that's how I got into that. That was around maybe like 2013, 14 ish. So that's how I got into just regular growth investing. How I got
Yeah.
into trading was when I was deployed. I had met a gentleman who was into forex, and he was showing me how it works. He was kind of like a little mini mentor to me. Just that he was a guy in the Air Force, even though I'm in the Army, and we just would cross paths every once in a while. And
Mm.
he just put the idea in my head. He seen seen something in me, so he put me on a little bit. And then I just
Mm.
I did my own research. When you're over there, you got a lot of downtime. So what I did was I watched hours and hours of YouTube videos. I read books, trading for dummies books, all types of books, all types of financial books, and I really
Mm.
realized how important and how much of a necessity trading and investing is, when it comes to wealth. Because when it comes to wealth,
Yeah.
running the businesses is great, but most people who are wealthy, they have you either two or the three. They either have real estate, they run a business, or they have stocks, or they own stocks, whatever. Usually, most wealthy people own all three, but
Mm.
definitely at least two of the three for sure. So that's how I learned how to trade and invest.
Okay, man. It sounds like you really like it. It sounds like you put a lot of hours into studying your craft. That's good to go. What's the biggest thing that you like about it?
The best thing that I like about it is it's you can make money, and you don't have to make money according to like a regular employer. Like, so for instance, like say I
Mm.
work for like McDonald's, or I work for like a bank or something like that. You put in a certain amount of hours, and no matter how well you do your job, like you could say you work for a bank, right, and say, what, I'm a teller, I'm going to get the most people, or you work in a customer service, and I'm going to be the best to my customers all day. It doesn't matter how better you are at your customer service than anybody else. You're still going
Yeah.
to make that $13 an hour, no matter what you do, whether you're mediocre, whether you're great,
Mm.
whether you're just good.
Mm.
The financial market doesn't work like that. It rewards you for the work you put in. So the more
Mm.
work you put in to become a better trader, the bigger your profits are going to be. So
Mm.
that's the best thing I like about the financial market. It rewards you for the hard work that you put in, unlike just a regular employer.
Oh, good to go, man. This sounds like knowledge that a lot of people need to have instead of getting money suddenly and then spend it faster than they got it. You think they should do more investing than spending? Sounds like what you're saying, right?
Oh, most certainly. I definitely think people need to do more investing than do spending. Because just like if you look at the results, and they have various polls on CNN, Yahoo Finance, Investing.com have done surveys. You can look them up on Google for yourself. But even over the pandemic, you would be surprised. More people spent money during the pandemic than they spent during
Mm,
any other time. During those times where it wasn't pandemic. So, not trying to
really?
clock people's pockets and stuff like that. This is a free country. You can spend on what you would like. But wouldn't it feel better for you to have for people to have put in money and invest in the stock market, especially during a time when the stock market had tanked when it started the pandemic? You
Yeah.
could have got two, three, four times the money that you put in during the beginning of the pandemic than you could have any time during the stock market, because regular growth during the stock market, it is typically slow when you're just investing. You're investing for the long term, for the long run. Like Warren Buffett has a quote. He says, people always ask him, what's your scheme for getting rich? And he's saying that anybody can get rich, anybody can get to $1 million. The key
Hmm.
is nobody wants to get to $1 million in 20 years and 30 years. And that's the case. Mostly, even if you worked at McDonald's for 30, 40 years, you're going to touch over, if you do the math of over the term of a 30, 20 to 30-year period, $1 million in its entirety from you working. So it's not impossible, and it's not really that it's that hard. But when you invest, have a 401k, invest in the stock market, invest in the stocks, you can have way greater returns and profits. So I don't tell people just to only invest in, like, quit your job or anything like that, but you should be
Yeah.
doing that on top of it. And a lot of companies, they offer stock programs, like Five Below does, McDonald's does. You can work and they take a certain percentage of your check, depending on,
Yeah.
I forget, yeah, depending on how the terms they set. I think sometimes you can set your own percentages. They'll take a certain amount out of your check and they'll put it towards the stock. And then the cool thing is you get it at a discount if you work for the
Mm.
company. So that's how it usually works.
Okay. That sounds fantastic, man. So, like through the course of you starting up your business and learning your financial information, what is one of the biggest misunderstandings that you've come across with people in terms of finances?
One of the best, excuse me, one of the biggest misunderstandings comes I get all the time is, oh, I'm not good at math. You have to be good at math.
Mm.
I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna sit here and lie. I have no idea where that came from. I don't know why that's a thing, but trust me, you literally don't have to be good at math. Long as you can do the basic math. I mean, I'm talking just addition, subtraction. Sometimes, you might need a little, percentages and ratios and stuff like that, depending on what you do. But nowadays in the financial market, everything's already there for you. So the biggest thing I say you need, is reading more importantly, because a lot of times you can go on Yahoo Finance and they have the statistics already, everything for you. Now you should know how the statistics works, how they got that number. That's important for you to know. But you do not have to be a math whiz or be, top of the, 20% of your math class or whatever the case is. But
Mhm.
that's a misconception with the financial world.
No, you know what? That actually, it brings up some more questions. Um, it, it- I know sometimes people can get intimidated by things that they are not comfortable with. Like you brought up math, right? So tell us a little bit about your experience and what you've learned like through the course of your growth.
So what I've learned over the course of my growth is that there's more than one way to skin a cat, and I mean that in a way. Same thing with money. There's more than one ways to make money in the stock market. Most people think, like, when they first starting off, oh well, I'm just putting money on a stock and then I'm expected to make $1 million out of it, or I'm putting money in the stock,
Hmm.
and I'm expected to get a certain return. What it is you can do a lot. There's a lot of different ways other than just dumping money into a certain stock. It's more complex than that, but it's still simple in a way. So for instance, like, I'm gonna use Apple stock for instance. I always tell people, you own Apple, or you have an iPhone, you should be investing in Apple. So so they're not just making money off you making money off them, and then eventually they'll end up paying you. If you make enough money or you put enough into
Hmm.
the financial market, they can end up paying your phone bill instead of you working, not a 9 to 5 or a full-time job just to end up paying them.
Yeah.
So that's a big factor. So people, need to understand that you can do options in the stock market. You can just do regular growth investing. They have different types of investing. You can be a long, just a I call it growth investing is for more long term. I say if you're planning on holding a stock 10 plus years, you have
Yeah.
people who are swing traders. Those are swing traders is usually anywhere up to a couple days, weeks, or months. Yes, for as long as you're holding a stock to get a return. Then you have day traders. Some people they trade only for the day. And there's certain different ramifications for that. So, for instance, you can't just day trade all day. If you don't have at least $25,000 in your account, and if you have a TD Ameritrade or Tastyworks or whatever type of broker you have, you usually fall under the PDT rule, which is pattern day trader rule, which means if you don't have you have to have over $25,000 in your account to make more than one day trade. If you have under $25,000, you're limited to three day trades and usually a 5 day period. There are a few brokers that can sign up for it and they do bypass that rule, but that's the usual rule of thumb. But
Yeah.
you could be a day trader. It is very profitable. Most people day trade penny stocks. So, for instance, the movie Wolf on Wall Street. You ever seen that movie? Wolf on Wall
With
Street.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes, that's the one.
Okay, that's
So,
where he was
so
telling the guy that he made like $70,000 a month.
yes, exactly, and that's based on a true story on Jordan Belfort. That's like like the movie is a little theatrical, but far as like the what he went through and how he was trading and making money, that is real. And pink sheet stocks is another name for penny stocks. So you can trade penny stocks, day trading, and I mean a lot of people would say it's risky in the like maybe like actual firms and Wall Street and stuff like that. But there's a lot of people who make money off it. Tim Sykes, there's a lot of people that mentor people. I was mentored by one of the greatest, I feel like one of the greatest day traders of our time, Tim
Mm.
Sykes. He has a program where you can sign up for a year or two and he mentors you. He gives you the keys and tools to day trade and stuff like that. So there's a lot of ways to make money in the stock market other than just, oh, let me just purchase this stock and then you don't know what to do with it after that. So that's the biggest thing.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. So if you could accomplish one thing in your mission, what would it be?
My mission, especially for Nico the investor, is to make and produce as many investors slash traders as possible. That is my
Mm.
sole purpose of why I created my business because I trade and invest in myself and myself like personal like on my personal accounts.
Yeah.
I like if I didn't care, if I just cared about myself and wanted to make money just just for myself and my family, I could do that and I would I'm gonna still be on my way to wealth, millionaire status and all of the truth, but the thing that I learned, at least from the few mentors that I had, is not only what's the fun in that, but what's the purpose in it. You know,
Yeah.
some like I have a few people that that's in the military that have a lot of money, and they say they felt good making $1 million, like when they hit their first million, but they didn't feel that good again as until they gave away $1 million. And
Mm.
a lot of people that are wealthy, like even the 1%, they do have a pledge. They have a pledge that they do where they sign up to give away at least over 50% of their wealth at their death. There's a lot of people on that list. I forget the name of the list in the world, but it's like a world wealth list, whatever. A lot of them are on that list. They give away at least half of their wealth because it's like you can't do nothing with it. You can't take it with you, in the grave or nothing like that. So what better feeling it is after receiving it is to dish it out. That's my goal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's fantastic, man. So what's your do you have any barriers to achieving your goal? If so, what is it?
The biggest barrier for me is fear. And I'm not going to act like it's not understandable because a lot of people they fear losing money. Like imagine you worked 2 weeks, you work 80 hours in a 2 week span to make a $1,500 check, and you want to take 500 of that $1,500 and put it in the stock market. And I'm not saying that you have the intention of losing it, but just say like I said, starting off in the beginning. You lose the money. Now you done worked, however many, I'm not doing the math in my head, but however many hours you work to just get that 500 going in the drain. Like I said, if you don't know what you're doing, it could be minutes, it could be hours, it could be days. You could lose it pretty fast if you don't know what you're doing. So people fear losing their hard-earned money, which is understandable. But the thing that they don't understand is there's a lot of safeguards
Hmm.
so you don't risk all your money and so you don't lose it or at least lose majority of it. People just have to understand the knowledge and the education piece. And sometimes it is a little bit risky. Like I'm not saying risky as in like like gambling or the lottery, but you have to have a certain in the financial world we call it risk management. Risk management is the most important thing in all of it. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you save and how much you don't lose, you know?
Okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So it sounds like you have a lot of education on in your area, uh, and you sound like you have a lot to teach people. How do people get in contact with you?
So the way people get in contact with me is I have a Facebook page, I have an Instagram page, I have a
Hmm.
TikTok, I have YouTube. My at for all of those is at Nico the Investor. So that's for every single thing. Like if you go on Facebook, type in at or just type in Nico the Investor, it'll come right up with my logo. And it's very distinctive. It has Nico with like a little figure with like waves and a tie and a suit and
Yeah.
wears a red tie. If you go on Instagram, Nico at Nico the Investor, it'll come right up. If you go on TikTok at Nico the Investor, it'll come right up. Now YouTube is not the ad is a little bit different because when you first I'm on YouTube, its channel is fairly new, so you're not able to come up with a specific ad or the / until after you have a certain amount of subscribers. But if you
Mm.
type in the name, you still should be able to see it. And even better, I have a link tree on my Facebook and on my Instagram. So if you go on Instagram or Facebook and you go my web link, which is right on my page, as soon as you come on there, you'll see it'll be a link tree and it has all the links to all the ways to reach me. And the same thing with the phone number. Also, same thing on my website. My website www.nicotheinvestor.com has Instagram link, Facebook link on there, calendar link for Zoom consultations and all that on there, and it has a phone number as well.
Fantastic, man. This has got all kinds of ways to get in contact with you. And yeah, you sound like you have a wealth of knowledge that we definitely need. Is there anything we haven't talked about today that you need to put out?
One thing that we haven't talked about is I want to just emphasize on different types of investments. I know I touched on it a little bit in the beginning of what I do, and I've been mainly
Yeah.
talking about growth investing. But there's a lot of investing that I teach, which is option trading. Option trading in a nutshell, you're just basically, I don't want to use the word betting, but you're basically predicting on where the stock price would be. The
Hmm.
You can make, and this is the kicker, like regular growth investing, you just want to put money into Apple and then hope that it grows in the next 10, 20 years. But the thing with option trading is you can make money whether the stock goes up or down. You can make money whether the stock goes up and down. You can make money whether the stock price doesn't move at all. So you don't only have to focus on whether a stock price goes up. You can do so in the option world we call it calls. Calls means that, let me use Apple for example. If Apple is at 130 and you want to do a call on Apple, you're picking a specific expiration date, which is a date that you think that the price will be at by, and you're picking a strike price, which is the price that you think it'll be. So say Apple is 130 and you do a call on it. You may do a call for, what you say, oh, you know what, in 2 3 months it'll be at 135 or 136. They'll have different options depending on which brokerage you use. And then you have, for options, you have this thing called puts. Puts is the
Hmm.
opposite of call. So if you think Apple's at 130, you think it's going to go to 128 or 125 or back to 120 in a certain amount of time period. You can do a put, so you can make money whether it goes up and down. And they have so many different variants of how you can do option calls. So you can make money all types of ways. It's not just only you're only worrying about something going up. So that's something I want to touch on. And then
Hmm.
same thing with forex. So cryptocurrency. I teach cryptocurrency, and it's a lot to get into right now for this interview. But on forex, you can trade cryptocurrency pairs. So just like how Bitcoin this week went down, lost all its gains for 2021, it's back down
Mm.
basically to around the 32,000 range right now, and it went all as low as 29,000. Think about about a day or
Wow.
two ago. Yeah, you can trade the BTC/USD crypto pair. And the good thing about forex is you don't need a lot of capital in order to trade those pairs. So like Bitcoin, right? No,
Yeah.
not saying, not once again, not clocking nobody's pockets, but most people on hand don't just have 29, 30,000 just to buy one Bitcoin coin, just to own one full coin of it. So if you want to
Yeah.
make some decent profits, maybe a couple hundred or a couple, or up to $1,000 easy on a cryptocurrency pair like Bitcoin, it would be easily accessible to do that on a forex, because you can have only 100 or 200 in there and trade the forex pair, versus if you put 2 or 300 in the actual Bitcoin at 29,000 and it goes up to Say it goes up to, even 40,000, you're only going to make a couple dollars, or, make, at best, whatever, because the stock price, crypto price is so high. So I always tell people, you want some good returns on cryptocurrency, and even some of the stocks, you can trade them on Forex.
Okay, fantastic. All right, it's time for final thoughts. All right, so right now we are in the changing of the pandemic. Pandemic is over for most of us. Some people are still living in the shadow, but they're coming out. Now, we've gone through the time where people were scared with their finances. People were holding on to their finances because nobody knew. No one could have predicted it. But what we can do is be prepared for the future. We can be prepared for our children. We can be prepared for anything else that may come about. Investing. Investing is a great way to go. Let your money make money. Don't go buy something that's just going to lose value or something that you're going to lose later on down the line. Take the class. Learn how to invest your money and sit back and watch it grow. And that's all I got. Classes in section. I hope y'all took notes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that was a great point. Definitely want to invest. Like, if you, instead of spending money on, something that's not going to bring you value, like I said, we all shop, we all, spend money on clothes and stuff like that. Sometimes most Americans, they have a U.S. consumption report. We spend money on, too much, a little bit on Fashion Nova, or whatever the case is, or whatever we buy. Like you said, invest in a course. The best thing about my courses, I don't charge a monthly fee. There is no monthly fee. If you buy my modules, if you purchase one of I have 3 module sets, whatever. My first one teaches just Forex. That's $29.99, one time payment. You have the modules for life. My second module set is $39.99. That's for gross investing, dividends, options, for such. That's $39.99. And once again, that's a one time payment. My last one is $59.99, and that's for everything that I teach. So that's basically both module sets complete. But if you do the math, if you do the $29.99 and the $39.99, you get 70. So if you get the $59.99 one, you get $10 off of everything that I know, and that's the one time payment. Same thing with my Zoom consultation. So Zoom consultations, you want a Zoom consultation? I charge per hour on them, and usually they just last about 1 hour, and it's till whenever whenever you need it. You're just not like you have to buy. We can book it and then let me know. We'll schedule up our sessions, but I basically charge $1 a minute, so $60 for 1 hour whenever you need it. If you need help with learning how to do options, if you need help learning how to use the system to use options, so I'm affordable and I'm very very cheap, and it's like you're investing a little bit of money now to for a whole lot of knowledge for you to make money, a whole lot of money long down the line. So that's the best thing you can do is spend money on your own stuff, on your own knowledge, and something that's going to help you make money. Just like real estate courses do the same thing. You want to get into real estate, take a real estate course. Either study for it, or you can be just go off straight as an investor. But it always pays off to invest in a trade or invest in something that's going to help you make money.
Fantastic. All right, y'all. It's a great class. We'll see you next time.
Absolutely. Thank you.